Hello, welcome back to the Faithiest Podcast. Let me go and make sure I have everything recording right. Fantabulous. And if you're wondering what type of mic I use, it's a USB plug-in mic. I know I'm a cheap person, but it actually works very well. Now we're gonna go. Of course, Skype's not responding. The person named "Grab him by the pussy" it's a Trump joke. Sorry. Just go and close that. Phone. Why you gotta ring? But anyway, so today I'll be discussing moderate generic Democrats are hurting Democrats across the ballot. And I actually got this idea because while I was on 538 looking at the presidential chances of time, I saw that article. So I'm just going to give my opinion on it. And I apologize for I'm the guy who records. Okay, I record all the videos. And I apologize for kind of being a madman. And, like, the last 5 videos are just me. And it's not because I can't get Mason or Greg on. It's just because we have this thing is where I do the electoral college videos. Now tomorrow, I better not be the only. I was the only one on for the second presidential debate, and then I told these little guys. I said, "Hey, how about we do a little, overview of it at the end, right? Little, overview would be a good word for it." They didn't come on. Little summary of it, and they better be on tomorrow. I know Mason will be, but if Greg doesn't get on, I'm gonna be mad at him. Because tomorrow's so important. It's going to decide the future of our outcome, politically and socially. Are we going to accept people for who they are? Are we going to be, intolerant, hateful, non-accepting? But let's get back to this. I personally view myself as a progressive, and I'm not a big fan of moderate Democrats, which is sadly what a lot of the Democratic Party has become, is centrist Democrats. And not just centrist anymore, some are starting to lean right, because the Democratic Party keeps moving to the right, so they're pushing the Republican Party even further. So the Republican Party looks like a bunch of maniacs, and then the Democratic Party's just sitting there like, yeah, we're liberal, even though they're center-right. And the thing with Hillary is, I'm going to be honest, do I believe if she gets elected she's going to enact progressive policy? I don't. If she wins. I don't think she is. I think she's going to enact some moderate policies because she is a moderate. And see, and look at the facts here. When you look at most electoral history, it depends on the state. I mean, if you're in the South, like you're in Mississippi, for example, it's better to run as a moderate than a liberal. It's just easier for you. But if you're in a state like Minnesota, Paul Wellstone said, "I'm liberal and proud of it." He won. I think he served 3 terms before he sadly passed away and died in a plane crash. I believe he passed away, died sadly in 2002, I believe. And big fan of. If you don't know who my desktop is, that's Russ Feingold, who's running for his old Senate seat tomorrow. Vote for him, please. I know this video is kind of going everywhere, but my view on it is if you run progressive, you get more people in the political process. The workers who used to not vote, the poor workers who were just like, neither party's going to help me, they'll get out and vote. The young people who say, neither party's helping me, they'll get out and vote. And it's called political coalitions. It's called coalition politics, where you get everybody. And it's actually an easy way to win. When you look at it, instead of just focusing on one group, you get all groups, get as many of them as you can. You get Christians, Muslims, atheists, Hindus, Jews, blacks, whites, Hispanics, Asians, gays, straight, bisexual, transgender people, anybody. And you get them behind you, no matter how much you get. But when you form coalitions, when you form teams, you win. And that's what progressives do. We form teams. Moderate Democrats, they're not helping the country. Moderate Democrats are for crony capitalism because it's helping them. I'm not saying moderate Democratic voters. I'm saying the moderate Democrats in power. Then you look at progressive Democrats like Russ Feingold, Tammy Baldwin, Elizabeth Warren. These are people who are against it. They're just like, we can't have this anymore. Then you have people like Harry Reid, the thing about Harry Reid is he really is a moderate. Not exactly on his voting record, but I like the guy. I really do, but I have so many disagreements with him. But if you run moderate, you don't get the working class to come out and vote. You don't get the young people to come out and vote because they're just like, because if it's a moderate Republican against a moderate Democrat, it's just like, what do you guys disagree on? Abortion? Gay marriage? Is that it? And I'm not saying those aren't important issues. They are. But the way the working man sees it, say he's a pretty progressive guy. He sees it and he says, how about you guys just enact economic? That's what I care about the most. Is say he says say the guy's name is Bob. I care about economic policy to help me out. I'm consider myself, and this is all Bob talking. I consider myself a progressive, but I'm gonna vote for the person who's gonna help me. And then he sees on economic policy, the moderate Republican and the moderate Democrat say it's, I don't know, Jeb Bush. Not Jeb Bush isn't really that moderate. I'm trying to think of say it's Rob Portman. He's kind of a moderate guy. Against I'm trying to think of a pretty moderate Democrat, Dianne Feinstein. Okay, you look at them and you say, are you guys really gonna help me? What's the difference? Then they don't get out and vote. Say you have someone like Bernie Sanders against Ted Cruz. The working class man sees, hey, Bernie Sanders is going to help me out. He sees Ted Cruz, he's going to help the rich. Working people, let's get out and vote. But then when they see the moderates, they're just like, who cares? That's why I think it's better to run as a progressive, because you get more people out to vote. And I think this country is, I'm trying to think of how to word this. It's on a progressive path, and it's becoming more progressive, and I think Bernie Sanders helped that a lot. But tomorrow, my goal, these are my goals. I want to see Hillary elected. I want to see Russ Feingold back in the Senate, Tammy Duckworth back in the Senate. And it's so amazing to think. I'm not comprehending it yet. Tomorrow is the election. It's not, oh, one more year, man. It's tomorrow. And it's kind of scary. I want to see Megha Hassan in the Senate. Now, I don't know that much about Megha Hassan's policy. But again, let me take back. I said I prefer people to run progressive. I do, okay? But if you give me the choice between a moderate Democrat and a moderate Republican, I'm going to go with the Democrat. Because I agree with them on more things. Even if, they're not the most, say they don't, on economic stuff, they're not the best, they'll be better than the Republican. But I know this video is kind of all over, but thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.